Excuse me, Captain, but what's it like to go through the Suez Canal? Well, the question is a very good one. I've been through now 32 times, and for a captain, it's an absolute pain in the... But it has its good points and its bad points. And basically the canal is a sandy ditch that runs almost north-south. It's about 150 kilometers long and joins the Red Sea in its southern part to the Mediterranean Sea in the northern part. And around about halfway along it is the city of Ismailia. And there are some lakes in the middle called the Great Bitter Lakes where ships can hole up and anchor. But for the most part, it's just a straight run through, which takes about 10 to 12 hours. So it operates on a convoy system. Ships gather at anchorages to the north of Port Said and to the south of Suez, and then convoys start. And the passenger ships normally go through at the head of the queue, followed by car carriers, and then you get container ships, and then coming towards the back are the dangerous goods ships like tankers. Now, I first went through in late 1979, and I guess if you haven't been through before, it's an eye-opening experience. It's quite something to behold, but by the time you've been through 32 times, it starts to lose a little bit of its wonderment. In fact, by the time we do all the admin that's required to get through, it can be a right pain. In the good old days, we used to get people come on for the transit called the Gilly Gilly men. And for those of you of a certain age, like myself, that have been through back in the days, the Gilly Gilly men were famous. And these were sort of sleight of hand tricksters, but they were also great entertainment. Now, mostly the people that come on board are mooring men, and they come on board in case there's an incident where they then put mooring ropes ashore and we pull the ship to one side of the canal so we don't block it. We have to take a canal searchlight, so we have canal electricians come on board, and they tend to set up little knick-knack shops and sell fridge magnets and things like that. But that's all you get now. No more Gilly Gilly men. One of my lasting stories is that when you used to go through, you had to pay presents, let's say. And these took the form of cartons of cigarettes and sometimes bottles of whiskey. And they were called compliments. And I remember one gentleman, as we were going through, coming towards the end of the transit, he said to me, "Captain, you have a compliment for me? You have compliment?" I knew what he was after. But I said to him, "Sir, you're a very handsome man." And he said, no, Captain, compliment. And I thought, well, if someone called me a handsome man, I would take that as a compliment, but I knew exactly what he was after. Now, on this particular ship, she was a very Scottish little ship, let's say, and we had a fine collection of Scotch whisky on board. And they knew this. These people knew what we had. So when I was in Asia, just for the canal transit, I managed to acquire some cheap whiskies. It was called Scotch Guard. Now, Scotch Guard, where I come from, is the sort of stuff you spray on your sofa or your carpets to make stain removal easier. But this Scotch Guard was a nice litre bottle of whiskey, and the label was a Scottish soldier in full dress, complete with a set of bagpipes. It looked the part. $1, 1 litre. It was absolutely disgusting stuff. But this is what I gave as my compliment. And when they said, "Captain, you have a compliment for me?" I gave them this bottle of scotch and said, "Please, take this away. This is very special. Enjoy it in your home." I don't know if they ever survived the experience, because I don't think I ever saw him again. So that was Scotch Guard. We have a pilot that takes us through, and on one particular transit, I was on the bridge with the staff captain and the officer of the watch and the pilot. And the pilot said to me, "Captain," he said, "do you mind if I use the restroom?" I said, "Not at all, pilot, please do." Now, the restroom was on the bridge. It was part of the bridge, but at the back of the bridge. And to get into it, you had to go up a little step of about 30 centimetres. And it was a lovely, long, straight piece of the canal. So the pilot went to the toilet. And 5 minutes passed. And 10 minutes passed. No pilot. So I said to the staff captain, you better go and check the pilot's okay. And there was a little gap under the door. And I said to the staff captain, just check, make sure he hasn't collapsed on the floor, that he's okay. So the staff captain got on his hands and knees in front of the toilet, about a metre or two away from the door, and was peering under the door. And you guessed it, the pilot came out. And as quick as a flash, the staff captain rubbed the pile of the carpet and said, yes, captain, he said, the carpet is very worn. We need to replace this in the next dry dock. And got up and came back and joined me at the centre console. The pilot said nothing. I tried so hard to stop laughing, and that staff captain is now the captain of his own ship. He went far, that lad. If you're watching this, well done. It was a great recovery, and it's a story that will live with me for the rest of my days. The whole reason for the Suez Canal is to cut down shipping times from the markets of Asia and Europe, between the two. And it actually saves about 8 to 10 days on a sea voyage from Asia through the canal to Europe, because if you can't go through the canal, you have to go round the southern tip of Africa and up and into the Mediterranean through the Straits of Gibraltar, or indeed if you're going up into northwest Europe to the ports of Rotterdam, Bremerhaven and the United Kingdom. So it's a significant saving on journey times just by going through the canal. And the importance of the canal cannot be understated. I mean, recently there was a ship called the Ever Given, which for reasons that we won't go into here, maybe in another video, ended up broadside across the canal in high winds and blocked it. And it blocked it for a considerable period of time, and the repercussions of that are still felt some 2 months later. Containers trade of the world is timed to the day as ships circumnavigate the globe, picking up and dropping off containers. That blockage threw all that out of kilter, and it's still taking time to recover from it. So that's how important the canal is these days. So do I like going through? Every time I go through, it's different. I've been through in bright blue, calm days. I've been through and I haven't seen one bank to the other because of sandstorms. On one hand, to answer the question, it's an absolute pain. It really is hideously horrible. It's better than it was in the old days, but it's still a right royal workup. On the other hand, I quite enjoy it. So if you ever get a chance to do it, do it. If you do have any questions, leave it in the comments below and I will try and answer them. You can follow me on Instagram at excuse_me_captain, or I'm here on YouTube. Please follow and like, and join me for the next short video to answer another viewer's question. Bye now.